So I was literally just reflecting on my life. First of all, I reflect every day because it's just part of me, maintaining my mental health and making sure I always have clarity. But I was reflecting on all of the things that I've accomplished these past 5 years. And I wanted to share with you guys not only what I accomplished, but how I did it so that you can do it too, okay? The way your life is today, whether it's going great or not so great, doesn't mean it has to stay that way. There's always things that we want to change, and a lot of times we think that we can't change them because of this reason or that reason, but in reality, you can. Now, is it going to be hard? Yes. Change is hard, which is why most people don't change. But reflecting on all of the changes that I made, I'm actually glad that I did. One of the biggest changes I made in my own life is the way I view things and the way I view myself. So I used to be very insecure. I used to self doubt, second guess all of the things. I never thought I was good enough. I always would see other people doing what I wanted to do, but then think that that's just never going to happen for me because that's just the way life is, right? Life be life, and I got all these external factors going on, and it just can't be that way for me. And I used to live in that mindset, but that mindset kept me trapped. It had me envious of people, it had me hating myself, and it had me kind of self destructing with the habits that I had. But I got over that by shifting my mindset. There were a lot of things that I achieved. I used to be an alcoholic. I haven't had a drink in 4 years. I've lost over 100 pounds by changing the way I eat and exercising. I built a six-figure online business. I've been a full-time entrepreneur. But through all of those things that I accomplished, I think the biggest reason why I was able to accomplish those things was because I spend a lot of time by myself. I think a lot of people can relate to the fact that there's always that negative Nancy in the friend group or in the family, right? There's always that person that makes you feel insecure about yourself, makes you second guess yourself, maybe doesn't support you in the way you want to be supported, maybe they don't clap for you the way you clap for them. That's toxic. That's toxic. And the people you spend the most time around show you who you are. And by me removing myself from people like that and getting just to be by myself, I no longer had external influences seeping into my mindset and making me feel differently about myself. That was by far the biggest thing. Not everyone is on the same wavelength as you. Most people aren't aspiring to be better every single day. And if you're not careful, their mindsets will shift your mindsets. And that's not a good thing. If they're not where you want to be, that is not a good thing at all. So that's why it's important to be around people who are trying to be a better version of themselves every single day. And if you're anything like me, I didn't know those people. So because I didn't have anyone around me who was trying to be a better version of themselves every single day, it forced me to spend time by myself. And I noticed on my self-development journey and spending time by myself, I'm a lot more productive when I'm by myself. I am a lot more positive when I'm by myself. I'm a lot more secure within myself when I'm by myself. I execute. I don't make excuses. I'm just a totally different person than when I get around people who aren't on that type of time. And I want you to evaluate your circle. I want you to do an audit. Who pours into you versus who takes from you? Who makes you feel confident versus who makes you feel insecure? If you start seeing a pattern with the people that you're hanging around with who are draining you, well, then it's time for you to remove them from your circle. It's time for you to step into a new version of yourself where you are comfortable with being by yourself. And reflecting back, I'm so glad that I made those changes. I'm so glad that I let friendships go. I'm so glad that I stopped hanging around family who wasn't the most supportive, who didn't clap for me, who made me feel like my decision-making skills were stupid. I'm so glad I got away from those people because reflecting back on everything that I have accomplished these 5 years, I'm looking at myself like, dang, I did that? I did that? Me? Yes, yes. I feel great. I feel amazing. And I want to share this with you because I want this feeling for you too. There's nothing that you can't do. That's number one. There's nothing that you cannot accomplish. But unfortunately, a lot of times you are around people who are making you feel like you can't. And even if they don't necessarily say it to you, it could be passive, it could be subtle, it could be little slick things that they say that make you second guess. Maybe they're undermining you very subtly. All of this happens. But again, most people are not on a version of being their best self. Most people don't have goals, and if they do, they're not actively trying to accomplish them. They're the people who talk about it but never follow through. And when I got by myself, and I decided, you know what? Even though it's uncomfortable being by myself, I'm going to sit through it. I'm going to sit through it. I'm going to get comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I'm going to work on myself. Every single thing that I want, I'm going to achieve. I don't care how many years it takes. I don't care how many hours it takes. I'm going to do this for me because the life that I'm living right now, I'm not happy with. Like I said, I used to be an alcoholic. I wasn't happy with that. Who truly wakes up every day wanting to need a substance to make them function throughout the day? I don't think anybody does. I was 100 pounds overweight. I wasn't happy with that. Who really wants to be overweight? Like, there's not one person who's like, my dream is to be overweight. Yeah, let's do it. Nobody says that. I hated my 9 to 5. I hated it. I was not happy there. I was miserable. There's just so many things about my life that I was not happy with. And continuing to live like that was hard. Living a life every single day that you're not 1000% happy with, that you're not jumping up out the bed to start for, that's hard. That is so hard. And when people are like, yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that, but it's hard. Well, you're already doing something hard, respectfully, because you're not even doing what you want to do. And every day that you don't do what you want to do is another day where life is just hard. So which hard do you prefer, you know? And I want you to look at it that way. Again, I keep saying this because it's true. There is nothing in this world that you cannot do. This all goes back to the limiting beliefs that you place on yourselves. The I can't, the I won't work, the I'm stupid, all that crap that we say to ourselves to keep us stuck. That's exactly what's keeping you stuck. And my question for you is, how much longer do you want to live like that? So I encourage you to get by yourself. That is the takeaway of all of this. Spending time by yourself without outside opinions, without outside criticism, without outside feedback, and just sitting with you and trying to figure out what is it that you want for your life. Not what your parents want for you, not what your friends want for you, not for what your spouse or your partners or your coworkers. No, what do you want for you? What do you want for you? If none of those people in your life existed, what would you be doing right now? What would make you happy? What things about yourself do you want to change? Okay? And once you list all those things out, start figuring out how you can achieve that. What steps do you need to put into your day-to-day to get it done? And then you tell yourself, you commit to yourself, you are not going to go to sleep until you finish that step. It's as simple as that. And because I've been living my life like that for 5 years now, here I am reflecting back, and I'm like, yeah, it was hard, you know, but I'm so glad I did it. The way I feel about myself today is amazing. I have all this confidence. I have proof to myself that I'm capable of any and everything. And it's just a great space to be in mentally. So I want that for you. You can do this. Leave a comment down below and let me know what things about your life do you want to change? What things are you proud of for accomplishing? And of course, join my Glow Up Academy. This is the space where we change. This is the space where not only do you set a goal for yourself, but you show up every single day working towards it. And I'm right here by your side every single step of the way. Bye, you guys.